What is going on, everyone? It's LFC Transfer Room here, and today is the Premier League room where we take a step away from Liverpool transfers and Liverpool news and have a bit of a look around at the rest of the team in the Football League and just sort of see what's going on and see if there's anything that, has of an interest to us as Liverpool fans, but also just to sort of keep an eye on what's going on. I am joined today by Matty, Damon, and Louis. And Matty or Louis just moved me around.
No, that wasn't me. Oh.
Matty, don't be moving us around. You've still got a lurgy, you've just been saying. Apart from that, how are you?
I'm all right. Looking forward to tomorrow. Early start, but there's nothing better than being at Wembley. There really isn't. And been fortunate enough to go every time this year, so just taking it all in, to be honest. Enjoying the days. Yeah,
and Louis, I can see you there donning the new top. Are you ready for your watch along?
It's a beauty. Yeah, I'm getting ready. We're gonna be starting extra early. James, you'll be on it. Charlie will be on it, and we're going all out for this one. And just fingers crossed we're sat here same time tomorrow with a second trophy for this season.
Another one down. And Damon, Friday. Final tomorrow. No other football games on an FA Cup day, which is always great, isn't it?
It's exciting, isn't it? I mean, we're not used to these FA Cups anymore on the club, are we? These League Cup finals. It just brings me back memories as I was a kid when Gerrard finals. It's nice to be back in it. To be honest, it is nice.
Yeah, true, and we'll finish off by talking a little bit about the FA Cup because we can't avoid it as much as we're talking about the Premier League room. An entire day stops tomorrow for the FA Cup, so we're going to take a little bit of a stop and talk about it as well. But I'm going to start by just looking at who's coming into the Premier League. So far in the Championship, the games, we're into the playoffs now, but two teams have made it up, Matty, Fulham and Bournemouth. Do either of them have the tools to stay in?
It just bores me, these yo-yo clubs. I think Bournemouth may stay up. Because they had a little run last time, but Fulham will go down. They'll go down and come up every year. They've done it for years now. It's boring. But Bournemouth, I don't know. They might surprise us, to be honest. I think they've got enough in them because they've got Premier League experience as well. Recently, they've only been down the 2 seasons, so I think that they'd be in more good stead of staying up than Fulham, to be honest.
And Damon, a really shocking statistic is Mitrovic has either been promoted or relegated every single season he has played in either the Championship or the Premier League.
He just plays for them sort of clubs, doesn't he? He plays for those clubs, like you said. And Newcastle have got a bit of a foundation now in Premier League, and they were always going to want them because they're a massive club in Newcastle. But Fulham, I mean, they've got the tools there, like you said before. They've got the tools there, Fulham, but they're a yo-yo club, a bit like Norwich. So you can't really go all out and say, yeah, they're going to stay, and they've got the tools to do it. But it's different. It's different gravy, isn't it, next year in the Premier League?
Yeah, but I mean, Louis Mitrovic is a year older, is a year wiser, is a year further on. He has just broke the scoring record for the Championship. Is this just a maturity piece now? Now he's going to come into the Premier League and actually 10, 15 goals. Yes, he's got 43 this year, but 10, 15 is a good return, isn't it, if he gets up? Well, he is getting up, but
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a make or break season for him in terms of how he would be viewed in the Premier League, because you can't see him getting another opportunity if it goes wrong. I don't know. It's one of those things. I mean, you've said about it a lot in terms of like our academy players coming through. Like it's the best of the best, and it's a whole different ball game. And I'm not necessarily saying that playing Norwich in the Prem is that much better than playing Luton in the Championship, but I don't know, there's still an element of difference to it, the money involved, the players that you can bring in, etc., etc. So I'm interested to see what will happen. I mean, he can't flop again. 10, 15 goals, as you said, would be fantastic considering his previous record. But no matter what happens, I think he still becomes one of those players that the streets will never forget, which is, I think, is becoming quite a popular term. Those players that are just sensational at a certain thing or for a certain time, like Adel Tarap's, your Michus, those kind of players. For him, it'll be a championship legend and someone who maybe, depending on what happens this year, just couldn't quite do it at that different level. But we'll see what happens.
Louis, Jen has given us a super sticker, and then further down in the chat she says, "Let us see the top."
Well, I'm not standing up and giving a full display, but you can see, it's just red, isn't it? It's just red. No, it's very nice, very clean, very slick, and you should. Well, I don't recommend buying it because it is a fortune, and that is a very stupid thing for me to do. But this is the reason why I was excited when we first signed for Nike, because they're boring, but they are clean.
Yeah.
Now, if you've not already, please make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. We do videos every day covering debates, transfer news, and a whole range of other things. Of the 4 teams in the Championship playoff to get to the Premier League, you've got Huddersfield, Nottingham, Sheffield United, and Luton. Matty, who's coming up?
I'd really like to see Luton come up. I was made up when Brentford came up. I just like to see different teams in the Prem, to be honest. Like I said, I'm bored of the yo-yo teams. Huddersfield wouldn't be a bad team to come up as well. They've been down for a few seasons. But I'd really like to see Luton come up, to be honest with you, just purely because it's a new club.
Wouldn't it be nice, Damon, though, to have a club with a bit of history come back into the top flight? A bit of Nottingham Forest back.
No way, not a chance.
You know what? A club like that, if they get back up into the Premier League, they could actually build up into a solid Premier League side. I mean, the same happened with Leeds, didn't it? As soon as Leeds came up, I know they could be going back down now, but it's those sort of clubs that they're so big. All it takes is a couple of good signings, and then they could get a good stability. For me, I'm hoping. I do actually hope Town come up to us. It's my hometown. It's my home Huddersfield Town. It's my home club. But
by town, do you mean Huddersfield or Luton?
Huddersfield, yeah. I'm from Huddersfield originally, yeah. So, it was a very good atmosphere last time in the actual town centre when they came up. The whole town was buzzing. I went to the Liverpool game, obviously, and it was just nice to go and see Liverpool in my hometown, sort of thing. It was I don't mind doing that again, to be honest. And it was easy 6 points as well for us.
So 1 for Huddersfield, 1 for Luton. Louis, are you going to be a decider, or are you going to go 3 for 4? And then I'll just pick the other one.
I mean, I've got no valid input. I'd just say I prefer Huddersfield or Luton. Forest have given a good account of themselves in the FA Cup. But yeah, it's kind of the same as what Matty said. I don't really want to see Sheffield United come back up so soon because we've already got Fulham and Bournemouth coming back up again. And it's just boring, isn't it? I mean, I know Bournemouth were in the Prem for a good few years before they went back down again. So I mean, it's a bit harsh to call them a yo-yo club, but I take the point. It's still new and interesting. So I think I would go for Luton. I'm not sure exactly which way the form went, but it's always the teams that start winning at the end stand a bit of a better chance. I don't know who fell off and who kind of came into form at the end of the season.
Huddersfield and Forest, really.
They're on a good run, aren't they?
I think Forest came too late, though.
Huddersfield have won the last 4 in a row, drew 1. Nottingham Forest won 4, lost 1, drawn 1. So Huddersfield are the form team.
Anyone but Forest, really. Anyone but Forest. Keep them in the Championship.
So who's going down then, Matty?
Wait, what's the beef with Forest?
Just don't like Nottingham Forest. Don't like them.
Who's going down, Matty? Leeds? Is that a done deal now in your head? Is the dream over for you?
No, I don't think so. I don't. 2 points behind Everton. I know Everton's got a game in hand. I do think Everton is safe. Unfortunately, I think that win against Chelsea was massive. Them 2 back.
And the Leicester win, the Leicester win massive as well. Away, leave them to win.
2 back-to-back wins for them is massive when you're fighting relegation. I don't know, because Leeds have got Brighton, and Brighton have got a loss in them as well, to be honest. So I think this weekend's fixtures are interesting. And I think it'll be decided pretty much this weekend.
Burnley have got Spurs, Damon, haven't they? So, and Spurs proved the other night that they are hunting Arsenal down with ruthless efficiency.
It's Conte, and Conte is such a brilliant manager. The way he's turned Spurs around, I mean, they're almost laughable, weren't they? Before they were just they got dominated every match, even if they won like 1-0 or something. Norwich should have like 79% possession against them. It's just embarrassing. But yeah, I do think Leeds are down. I think they've just gone off the boil in the last couple of games when they need them wins. Like Everton got back-to-back wins. They're so important this time of season, and it's just enough to stay up, isn't it? It's just a couple of wins. That's it. Stay up, and it's so easy. It's easy to talk about anyway, but Leeds are just collapsing at the moment. They're getting sending offs every match. It's just ridiculous.
And they were comfortably out of it for a while, weren't they? It feels like they've dropped in from nowhere. Everyone was always saying, Leeds might fall into it, and Leeds got, but bang, bottom three, dead and buried by the look of it. I mean, Burnley have got a tough run, but they're in better form than Leeds.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only saving grace this weekend is that Brighton got that result against United. I think they'll just flop this week. You know, they're not on the telly. Standards, 2:00 kickoff on Sunday. Those players are going to struggle to get up for this one, I think. So this is Leeds' time to try and get some breathing space, because I do think Spurs have just really just clicked into gear at the right time, and I think they will dispatch of Burnley, barring something incredible. So I really wouldn't be surprised if Leeds manage to get their way out of this. But if they don't, then it's kind of a case of, was it the right decision to sack Bielsa or not? Because, you know, I don't know if you've seen like how many Leeds fans are saying they'd rather have gone down with Bielsa than stay up with someone else because he's done so much for the club. So if they were to go down anyway, I don't know what's next for them. I don't know whether that guy would stay, considering he's managed in the Bundesliga as well. So it's a very interesting question of what happens to Leeds if they were to go down, and if they could actually bounce back quickly, or if they're in trouble of going on another barren spell in the Championship.
Yeah. Just in the interest of making it a quick and efficient stream, we'll move on to the next. We'll move on to the top four race, but please put who you think's going down in the chat. Who do you think's going to get relegated? I think we're settled here. It's between Burnley and Leeds. We think Everton have done enough to get themselves out of it, much to Matty's dismay. But who do you think's going down? Put it in the chat.
It's hard because it's like, I'd like Leeds to stay up because they play a bit more exciting football. But then when Leeds come to Anfield this year, the fans are horrendous. Some of the
They've been bad at Elland Road as well. The last few times I've watched them, they've been atrocious.
Yeah, like they're just horrible fans. So I wouldn't mind them going down. I mean, I know a few Leeds fans in there, all right, but some of the stuff they sung at Anfield, I'd like to see them go down on that basis. But Burnley just play horrendous football, and I hate to see them always bloody survive.
They're an horrible club, aren't they, Burnley? They're just an horrible club. I don't know how they survived this long, to be honest.
I feel like I prefer the Burnley story to the Bournemouth story, though, because Bournemouth, I know they've got a tiny stadium, but they sunk millions into their team stupidly, like Dominic Solanke and those types of signings. Well, he's been good in the Championship, but they bought him as a Premier League striker, and that's not what he turned out to be at that point.
He's a bargain bin Mitrovic, isn't he? Bargain bin Mitrovic.
Yeah, but I think Burnley, like Deitch, whatever you think of him as a person or the club, whoever runs them, etc., I think their story is a lot more of an underdog story than Bournemouth, because they really were on a tight budget, whether that was enforced or what they genuinely had or not. I prefer to have Burnley in the league than Bournemouth.
I really don't care. So it's a 4-0 for Man City, and it's probably a 3-0 for us or a 1-0 for us.
Did anyone really find out why Deitch got sacked in the end? Because there was no real reason, was there? They didn't really come out and say anything.
No, they just said, they gave a nice statement, didn't they? We thank him very much for his efforts and time and blah, blah, blah. Maybe the grass was getting, dying off because he was eating all the worms and stuff like that. You just don't know. No, he probably had a falling out with the chairman, to be honest.
Run out of gravel in the car park.
Yeah. Top four, one space left. Arsenal 1 point ahead of Spurs. Spurs destroyed Arsenal this week. Matty, who's getting the top 4?
I reckon Spurs might get it, just because Arsenal have got another tough game. Let's have a look there. Newcastle away. Very, very tough game, to be fair. Newcastle are good at home. They've a different side to what he was at the start of the season. They could do Arsenal. I think they give Arteta the contract too soon, to be honest. And Tottenham have got Burnley, so I think they've got enough in the Tottenham side to easily get that win. Burnley, and then they're above Arsenal again. Then, so I think
Spurs have Norwich last game, don't they? So pretty much this is their last difficult game, isn't it, Damon?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think Arsenal just nick it, just because I think Arteta's got them in a different mentality this season to what would normally see him. I mean, those 3 losses in a row were massive, but then to come back with 4 wins in a row, with what West Ham away, Chelsea at home, Man United, that's massive. We would never see Arsenal do that in the last 5-6 years. Not a chance. Not even under Wenger. We didn't see that at all. I think Arteta does deserve a lot of credit for what he's done with that. Such a young team, and Arsenal fans are so extreme on both sides. It's a strange fan base. They're so extreme. They're either fully Arteta out or fully Arteta in. Can you not just be happy with the progress he's made? I think the contract signing was reactionary, very reactionary. They should have waited until the end of the season. But he has done a good job. But yeah, they're going to get games where they mess up. But, that's just part of the process of coming up and progression. Klopp didn't, I've seen people saying Arsenal should be a title winning side. Klopp won a title. Klopp didn't take over a title winning side. We didn't want a title winning side the season after, was we? Straight away. It took a few seasons. But I do hope Arsenal get it, because I think it just annoys Man United fans a bit more than what Tottenham would.
Louis, I think it comes down for me to 3 world-class individuals being Kane, Son, and Conte, and that's better than anything Arsenal have.
Yeah, but that only really applies when they're playing against each other, doesn't it? I think they're still ahead. It's still completely in Arsenal's hands. Tottenham can win both games by a combined score of 10-0 if they want. Arsenal have just got to get their heads down and do what they want to do. And this is a case of their mentality. Like they always, the whole league always has a go at Tottenham for bottling it. They don't have the chance to do it on this occasion. It's all down to Arsenal. So I don't want to make a prediction. I think Arsenal will do it. So there you go. There's my prediction. But
don't want to make one. Here it is.
Don't want to make one, but I will, just because you forced my hand. But it's a very interesting test of what Mikel Arteta's got, because they didn't have any European football this year. It was just the cups, which they didn't do that well in, obviously. So they've managed to keep their squads fresh, even though they're quite small. They've got a few injuries now, and obviously Rob Holding suspended as well. Bless him. So it's going to be interesting. I think they would be very, very disappointed if they were to lose out on it now. I don't think they're in a position where they can afford to drop it or should be dropping it. They should win both of their last games.
Damon, I'm going to come to you first because I know what Matty's going to say before I ask him. West Ham against Man City. Are they going to finally do us a favour?
I've just given up. I want to be
Have
shocked.
you, though?
I do want to be shocked.
The poll says you haven't.
It's really, this hope I've got is really deep down, like bottom of my feet deep down. I mean, every time I'm getting my hopes up, it just seems pointless. Like I saw everyone on Twitter the other night putting like Wolves badges on the profile pictures. Like, come on, man, we shouldn't have to rely on other clubs doing this. It's so frustrating. And when they get 1-1 back, they concede straight away, and it's game over straight away. Ridiculous, and then they concede more at the end. It just feels like teams are just rolling over from. I know City are pushing, and they're really pushing hard at the moment. Kevin De Bruyne's out of this world at the moment, but we just want a game? West Ham, can we just give us a chance? Even just push them, give them a game. That's all we asked for.
I'd
Now,
be
Matty,
so happy if it was just 1-0 to Man City. If we lose the league, whatever. But if they keep it to 1-0 City, I will applaud West Ham.
Exactly. Yeah, that's all we asked for. That's all we asked for. Bit of all over.
before I ask you for the score predictions, Matty, which I think will be 100-0 to West Ham. Man City are about to have announced today, haven't they, a statue for Aguero for obviously their first title, which was 10 years ago today. It's great when you can celebrate your history, isn't it?
Yeah, if you want to think it looks like Aguero, like it's like the Ronaldo one from years ago. It's atrocious. Like the statue makers out there that can make statues look realistic. Like look at the statues outside Anfield of Bob Paisley and Shankly. Like I don't understand this statue at all. It's horrendous. It's horrendous. To me, fair play. Don't like I like the Aguero, to be honest, and I always wish he would have come to us. He's a fantastic player. But that's the bit of history they've got, and it shows that their history is the last 10 years, not 100 years.
And the West Ham Man City game, Matty, do you believe? Are you starting to?
No,
Maybe not.
no. I'm not, to be honest with you. Got to look at it in the sense of West Ham are 3 points behind Manchester United with a game in hand. Their game in hand is Manchester City. They have to win to get Europa League football. I strongly believe they took the foot off the gas a little bit because they were relying on winning the Europa League to get maybe Champions League football. Didn't work out for them. They need to win. It's the last game at home for the season. It's Mark Noble's last game at home for them. Now, that for them is like Steven Gerrard's last home game for Liverpool in terms of how much the fans adore him. Not in terms of ability, but in terms of our fan base idolise Steven Gerrard. The West Ham fan base idolise Mark Noble. And it's his last home game. They need to win to get Europa League football or to keep the Europa League football alive, really. And that means United would be in the Conference League, which is even better as well. And they're at home. West Ham have beat Liverpool at home. They beat Chelsea at home. We couldn't beat Chelsea at home either. It's worth noting that. And I do strongly believe that this could be the bump in the road for City. And then it does go down to the last day of the season. If City win this, then yeah, the league's done. I think that decides it. But if West Ham win this and it goes to the last day of the season, then there's just something there that tells me that there's just something there that tells me that
Nice. You pass it over.
I just think that Coutinho, Gerrard, Danny Ings. I wish Danny Ings has like an Aguero moment, 90+5 or something, and just gets like a draw or something against City last day and we win the league. Like just Danny Ings would be sick.
I think Matty would die. I think he would genuinely just die if that happened.
I would love to see Gerrard's celebrations on that.
Of course
he'd celebrate.
No, I meant like, would it be like it'd be like us, wouldn't it? I think he actually would celebrate like a Liverpool fan rather than an Aston Villa manager at that point.
I think he might John Terry it, just whack out the Liverpool kit under his suit.
Yeah.
I do think Liverpool will still win the Premier League. Yeah.
Has Matty convinced you, chat? Has Matty convinced you that Liverpool are going to win the Premier League? And that West Ham are going to do us a favour?
It's a big game for West Ham. Like it really is. Like they need to win to get Europa League football to keep that alive. That goes to the last day of the season. Then because of the goal difference, and last day of the season, United have got Palace away. That's a tough game. So the hope's still there for West Ham then, who will have Brighton away, which is a little bit easier. So they need to win against City. They have to, and we can't say that they can't beat a big side when they beat Liverpool. True. Loads of people are writing them off. They beat Liverpool at their stadium this season as well. This Liverpool side that's on for the quadruple, West Ham beat us. Why can't
I think
that
was the only game as well. I thought that it wasn't our fault in a way. They just outplayed us, aren't they? I mean, the other ones were.
I thought we just got beat.
3-3. They were just better than us on that day.
And don't forget, Man City have literally got Nathan Ake fit as for the centre back position. That is it. And they got Kyle Walker out too.
don't get me started. That's what annoyed me so much about the Wolves game. I knew like they lost, fine, whatever, but I was fuming about the way it happened. The back four that Man City had out by the end of the game, and Wolves could not get a concrete chance or a goal against them. Shocking. And then two or three of the Man City goals either took a deflection on the way to the goal scorer or into the net. That really grinded my gears because that's what happened for Kevin De Bruyne's goal against us as well. They're really getting the rub of the green at the minute, not necessarily completely outplaying their opponents. So the last time we relied on West Ham was when we then went and drew against Crystal Palace, and it was Stuart Downing and Andy Carroll leading the line for us for West Ham. Now it's Jared Bowen, Declan Rice, Antonio. They can do it. They absolutely can do it. Just Man City's luck's got to change a little bit.
I think we should sign Bowen if he does it. I do. I think just build him a statue at Liverpool already. Sign him, build him a statue straight away on his first day. Promise a statue. There you go.
We still then need something from Villa though, even if they lose. So I think that cements Gerrard.
Well, it depends on the goal swing, though, doesn't it? Southampton, if they lose, their goal difference goes down,
doesn't it?
No, but I do strongly believe if they lose to West Ham and it goes to the last game of the season, they will slip up against Aston Villa. I think there's just something there that makes me think Stevie G could shut every single fan in the country up about Slippy G and just get a result again. Do the unthinkable and hand Liverpool the title. Imagine it. I'd rather win the league that way than any other way this year. Now.
I think I would genuinely believe that football was scripted at that point. I think there has to be like a higher power at play there because that could only be ridiculous. That's 40 years in the making, basically.
But United would have to fall into the Conference League. Everton would have to get demolished and relegated, and then
even though social media would be suspended, it'd be melting down. It'd be absolutely.
They could be in, there's talk. I'm speaking to Frankie de Jong this week. If they go in the Conference League, Frankie de Jong's not going to Manchester United. So it
depends on the money, doesn't it?
Nah, he's not going to Manchester United and playing in the Conference League. Not a chance.
Not with Xavi as manager and Barcelona on the up. I feel like none of theirs are going to leave now. They'd be stupid, I think, to jump ship.
He's unhappy. He plays. And he's always said there's idols like Xavi and Iniesta, so why would he leave?
I don't understand why there's even rumours of him. It looks like he's going to sign for him. I don't understand that transfer at all.
Because of Ten Hag.
It's because they like to sign an attacking midfielder who never plays. I mean, look at Donny van der Beek.
He'll play now, bet you, under Ten Hag. Yeah, he'll play under Ten Hag.
All right, last 5 minutes. FA Cup. Big one coming up. Trophy number 2. Liverpool, Chelsea. Fortunately, Damon, it doesn't seem like form means much to Chelsea when a big important game comes around. Chelsea tend to turn up, don't they?
I hate playing Chelsea. I always have done. I hate playing Chelsea. From Mourinho days to even Roberto Di Matteo, I can't stand playing Chelsea. We said it the other day, didn't we, in stream about back in 2005, back in 2006 when we used to get in Champions League every single season. We had terrible teams back then, but it was always a close game. I can't stand playing Chelsea. They seem to know how to play against us. I don't know why, though, because they're nowhere near our level at all. It's frustrating. I still think we'll win. Obviously, we'll win because we're the better team, but you can't put the nail in the coffin before the game because it's this game. It's Chelsea. It's FA Cup final. They know how to play against us, and Thomas Tuchel has a cup trophy in him, and whether it's this season or next season, he has one in him.
Does he go if he gets fired? If he does he get fired if he doesn't win a trophy, Louis? There we go. I knew I could get that sentence out.
I think he gets this season because there's so much up in the air at Chelsea as well. I don't even know at this point who would make that decision. Would Abramovich still make that decision, or is he frozen out? Well, I suppose not. But yeah, I think there's too much up in the air. There's too much going on over here.
He might not be able to because there'd be a payoff.
Boris Johnson gets that decision now.
There'd be a payoff in Tuchel's contract, which
Fucking
means
hell.
they need to release funds, which he wouldn't be approved to do because it's over a certain threshold, probably.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, either way, I feel like he gets this season. He probably shouldn't do as far as how other Chelsea managers have fared, because Roberto Di Matteo got nothing after their Champions League win, and he got sacked the following season, didn't he? So
Benitez same as well. Benitez won a cup. He won a Europa League and Cup, didn't he? FA Cup.
yeah. So, but by their
Yeah,
standards, he should get
there at all,
sacked.
did
but-
they?
Yeah, I don't think there's enough heat around him at the minute. I think they were going well, maybe they still are going for a bit of a lull, like sort of falling apart at the end of the season. But they've secured top 4. It feels like they're coming up slightly at the back end, so I don't think there's enough heat around to warrant a sacking.
And Matty, FA Cup final, Mo's got to finally turn up to the party. I don't think he's scored in the last
He's been
month,
chatting a lot as well.
week.
I've never seen him chat this much.
Yeah, there's a lot of chat. There's not a lot of goals. Is this where he suddenly ignites?
I said it on stream yesterday. It's got to be he, like against Chelsea. He always likes it, doesn't he? And he scored. Remember that wonder goal he scored against them. I can't see nothing past Liverpool winning this game in 90 minutes. To be honest with you, even if Kante's back, it's not 100% Kante. It's 50% Kante probably. If Kovacic is back, he's playing with a problem as well. So are they going to last the 90 minutes, etc.? I think Luis Diaz has had a few more months to settle in as well since the Carabao Cup final. So he's even more dangerous now. He's taking more shots on as well. And I think Mane's a different beast in the false 9 now as well. I think, look at that first half against Manchester City in the semi-final. We steamrolled them, and Chelsea aren't as good as Manchester City. So I think even though we're missing Fabinho, which is a huge miss, Hendo is able to do a job in the holding midfield role. And we've still got Thiago, who is one of the best passers of the football I've ever seen. So I'm still very confident. I think we win about 3 or 4-1, to be honest.
Louis, that confident 3 or 4-1, 90 minutes, get it done. Bang, great stream, great watch along.
I could see it going straight to penalties again, to be fair. I think...
Do you reckon they bring Kepa on if it goes to pens?
No, there's no chance. I was going to ask.
Mendy's awful at saving pens.
Is he that bad though? They won
They won AFCON because Salah missed.
He's got to be bad. If you're bringing Kepa on, he's got to be bad.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think I don't think they can afford to make that decision again. I think they've just got to keep the goalie, because that's a one-off and it didn't bloody work. There's no way you could do it again, because if they did that again and then they lost on penalties, he would get sacked. There's no way you can take your keeper off twice and lose the penalty shootout on that decision. No, I'd love it if we could.
If he didn't do it and lost,
no one would say anything. No one would say anything. We would, just to take the piss, but no one would be saying, "Oh, if only he'd brought Kepa on, who lost them the last penalty shootout." You know. No, maybe we can. It just depends how we turn up. I think someone said with Klopp and us in finals, we don't score a lot. In those do or die games where it is the very end of the journey and it's it's the cup or nothing. Although we've won some of those, obviously, we don't score a lot, and you struggle to feel like we've played anywhere near our best in any of those finals, really. They've always been a bit sketchy. If we could bring that together today, if the midfield could perform the way they have done in second halves this season, like against Villarreal, definitely not like in the first half, then we stand a good chance of winning in 90 minutes. It just depends on how we all come together. It's a cup that we still haven't won yet under Klopp. If we do that, we've won everything apart from the Community Shield under Klopp. So they're all going to be right up for it. I'll say 2-1. 2-1 Liverpool in normal time.
I was trying to think, Damon, of a cup final that Liverpool have played in where I've been relaxed for 90 minutes and I can't think of one. And I'm probably the oldest person on this stream. Just got to accept what's coming, don't we?
There was that 2-0 against Man United in the League Cup final. Was that 2-0 against Man United in the League Cup final? That was quite a not as tense as the other ones. I mean, they all seem to go to extra time, don't they?
Yeah, because even
we're a strange club out there. We're such a strange club. No matter what team we've got, we all seem to, like you said, like Louis said, do the same thing in finals. It's always a close game. I think this team right now, we're own enemy, to be honest. I think the only team I fear, I said it the other week, I said the only team I fear is us ourselves, because that team, the way we played against Villarreal the first half was just, it was embarrassing. I mean, I've never seen us play like that in a long time. And if we play like that against anyone, I don't care if it's Chelsea or Watford, you know, we could lose easily. But if we play like anything near our best, we're too good for them, aren't we?
Yeah.
I think Diaz is going to have a good game, no matter what.
Who's he against?
We need Thiago to
He's
find
his games, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he'll do. I think he'll do fine. I think Thiago, if Thiago's on his game, doesn't play ridiculous, stupid passes and cock up and get 60% passing success, then we'll be fine as well. I think everybody else kind of does their own thing. Trent's crossing needs to be on point.
So I need Salah against Azpilicueta. That can't be good.
Thiago want to make an impact as well because he missed League Cup final, didn't he? Because he got injured just before.
Yeah.
Oh, he was devastated as well. So yeah, he'll be bang up for it.
And Kris will score a screamer because he'll definitely come on because there's no other midfield option.
He was good the other day, to be fair.
Yeah, no, fantastic.
But
all
we'll save FA Cup content for tomorrow. Louis got loads planned for everyone for FA Cup Day. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the video. This has been the Premier League Room, and we have decided that either Huddersfield or Luton deserve to come to the Premier League. Leeds are going down, maybe Burnley, but we really couldn't care less. Ideally Everton, but we don't think it's going to happen. Arsenal should get top four because they're ahead, and West Ham are going to annihilate Man City, and then they're going to get beat again by Villa, and Steven Gerrard's going to turn on in his full Liverpool kit at Villa Park and celebrate us winning the league. Up the Reds. As you said, Daz, thank you very much, and we will catch you on the next one.